Let's go, Rider Nation.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, here we go. It's a feeling now. Get 'em high, get 'em low, 'cause we're dealing now. Everybody's giving it all they got, 'cause we're ready.
You heard them on Sunday. That's Arcana Kings playing halftime at the Labor Day Classic at Mosaic Stadium. That's Here We Go. This is the Piffles Podcast, your Saskatchewan Rough Riders fan podcast. Thanks for joining us this week. We appreciate it. As always, you got me. I'm Alex.
I'm Steve.
And I am certain that CFL Commissioner Stuart Johnson does not care about my social media antics as well.
I saw that. Luke Wilson saying that, or somebody talked to him or tweeted him and said that can't believe the commissioner's letting you talk like that or whatever. And yeah, of course he did. He hired him at TSN, didn't he? Or
yeah,
at least he was.
Stuart was there when Luke was there, so
yeah. Yep. He clearly likes the guy. I mean, obviously. So, unfortunately, Greg, your bosses here care about your antics online. So
you're not the boss of me.
Our HR department. This won't be an intervention of sorts, but it's kind of going to be of sorts.
Okay.
If we had an HR, if we had an HR department, oh my goodness,
we'd be screwed.
Yeah.
Well, remember, we're role models.
I think that was geared towards the team, actually.
I hope so, because that comment made no sense.
I was so confused.
The internet's a wild place. This is your Saskatchewan Rough Riders fan podcast. Give us a follow on social media. You know where to find us at Piffles Pod. I'm at Real Alex D.
You can find me at Sappamud.
And as always, I do not need nor want your pity follows at Greg on Sports.
Thanks for listening wherever you get your podcasts, watching on YouTube or SaskTelmax TV on demand. Piffles Podcast is brought to you by Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sask Drive in Regina. We're also proud to be sponsored by Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level, Churchill Brewing Company, District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas. I know we talked about it post-game, which was kind of a spur-of-the-moment post-game show, as evident by Steve's face still being face-painted. But we're going to talk about that Riders Labor Day win on Labor Day, or the day before, I guess. Let's get to it. Time for the opening kickoff. 34-30.
You don't call the Labor Day Classic because it's not on Labor Day. The people in Ontario and Alberta take that very seriously.
I have no apologies, Josh.
Riders win 34-30. Moved to 9-2 on the year. Just the third time ever with a 9-2 record. So at least in the regular season, we're witnessing something pretty special here in Riderville. Doesn't happen very often. We're getting it this year. That game was something else. That second half, that whole fourth quarter, the whole 5 minutes to go was just absolutely crazy. We'll get to that. We'll kind of go into order of the game a little bit. It took a while for the Riders offense to get going, which seems to be now it seems to be a continuing thing for this team. They started out hot about a month ago. They were having really good success starting games. Lately, not the case. Struggled against Calgary, obviously, to start that game last week, and then were shut out in the first quarter here against Winnipeg. So luckily the defense started the game really well as well, being scoreless after one. But do you guys make anything of the offense taking a little while to get going? Like, is that a concern going forward?
It's like a runaway train on a track. Once it takes a little while to get up to speed, but once it's there, it's fine. The thing I'm happy about is, the defense started off strong, but at the end of that game, they were loose and not finishing what they started. So I'm kind of glad we hit that equilibrium, because at some point that could be a disaster if they don't get that together.
Well, we saw this with the defense at the start of the year. They were letting teams in, out on fire out of the gate, and eventually caught up to them. This has been the last couple of games with the offense. I'm not a little bit worried yet. If it becomes more of a pattern, I might start to get a little concerned, but this offense has shown that it can keep up with anybody. And like Greg said, they're the juggernaut. Once they get going, there's no stopping them. They roll on until apparently the last half of the fourth quarter, which they are allergic to scoring points in, but
I mean,
we'll get there.
They have the lead. It's like any other team in Rider history. If they have a 2-score lead, it's going to evaporate pretty quick, which is exactly what happened. So as things change, the more they stay the same. The defense obviously kept the Riders in it through the first 17, 18 minutes, especially when the turnover happened Winnipeg got their touchdown off the turnover, but then the very next drive, Winnipeg getting down to the 3-yard line, Chris Streveler couldn't punch it in, which was one hell of a tackle. I forget who had that tackle, but stopping Streveler on the outside was important. Winnipeg kicking a field goal from 10 yards out on a free possession, basically. That to me was the game right there. They let the Riders back into that game at that exact moment. A free possession, you're on the opponent's 3-yard line, go for it. Why not?
I'm not one to give O'Shea any coaching pointers, but if that was shoe on the other foot and that was Corey Mace, I would flat out call him a coward. And that was a cowardly play. They were up 10-0 at that point, and the Riders weren't capitalizing on when they were on offense. But come on, like worst case scenario, you have them pinned deep into their end zone. So why not go for it? Chris Streveler, Steve's favorite player, is one of the best short yardage quarterbacks in the league. Like, why not?
Is he?
Oh no, I said one of. Tommy Stevens is now the best by far.
Not even close.
Chris Streveler isn't even that good of a short yardage quarterback anymore. He's not the guy he was 5 years ago, but I'm not going to get into that right now. The biggest thing with that that call by Mike O'Shea was it let the Riders get momentum right back, because even a field goal there felt like a win in that stadium. You could feel the air kind of start to leave after the fumble. And that 2-play stop brought it all right back. And the crowd, the noise and the energy never left again after that. The decision to kick a field goal, questionable doesn't even begin to describe it. Yes, you take a 2-score lead. Yes, the Riders' offense has done nothing. But on the flip side, the Riders' offense had done nothing. Giving them the ball at the 3-yard line does nobody any good. Take a chance. Go for it. They didn't. They let us off the hook, and we made them pay for it. Because a 14-0 game there, it's a completely different ball game.
I mean, those 4 points ended up being pretty big at the end of the game, right? Especially on the road. You go for it on the road. Take that home crowd out, and that crowd was,
oh my Lord,
was the loudest Mosaic Stadium has ever been. That was, I mean, it makes sense with it being the highest attended game in history of that stadium, but that crowd was unreal. So kudos, Rider fans, and even the Bomber fans. You guys were making a decent amount of noise, but that was a fun atmosphere. That's what I want every single game. That reminded me of Taylor Field and how amped up people could get, and that was beautiful.
We'll get into the play itself at the end, at the end of the review here, but the noise after the Tavon Campbell pick 2, that was the definition of ear splitting. I got a headache from that, and I loved it. That was phenomenal noise. That's what I want to hear from this crowd more often. Obviously, you're not going to get that deafening throughout the game, but holy hell, that place was electric to close that game out.
But I would even take it sooner than that. The Tommy Neal 69-yard touchdown.
Nice.
Like if you go to the clip either CFL or the Riders put up from field level, and the minute he catches it and the fans realize he's breaking free and it's nothing but green to the end zone, it sounded like a jet engine taking off. Like that crowd was locked in and ready to go that game.
Well, I think that play kind of was a catalyst for everything. That was the first thing that we really had to cheer for. That was what broke the offense open. Not the first play overall, but that was really the beginning of Winnipeg's downfall. watching their safety jump 5 yards after it landed was something else. But that was the moment that I think fans believed that we were winning that game.
Yeah, I did not have a Tommy Neild long bomb touchdown on my bingo card for this game, but I'll go one further than that, Steve. I think it really started just with the defensive line. That strip sack by Malik Carney, setting up that first touchdown by AJ Ouellette. That's what really got everybody back into it, and that's what set things off. They just needed that one spark, and that D line against anybody who's not Calgary. That D line is unreal, and I thought they caused problems for Claros all game long, making him run, hitting they sack him 5 times in this one. Carney had a couple again, and that's
Ollie Saad got his first one.
Yeah, that was awesome to see. And Thurman had one, and it was Micah Johnson, I think.
Micah Johnson just stuck one arm out and took Claros down with him as he was getting blocked.
Pulled him down hard too. Like that was Claros hit his head on the turf on that play.
I'm surprised he came back because he looked a little worse for wear for a few seconds after he took that shot to the melon. And I'm shocked. Apparently he didn't even go into the tent after that hit, which is another questionable choice from the Winnipeg sidelines. Even if he comes back into the game, it's fine, but to not even check him out after a pretty solid clip to the noggin was a choice.
So that was first half. Was looking pretty good. The second half, okay. Mario Anderson, we haven't even mentioned his name yet. 3 carries on the game, 2 touchdowns. That first one, I want to talk about that first one. That was the 26 yarder, 24 yarder, whatever it was. The blocking on that play. Well, first off, it was set up by Joe Robustelli's ridiculous one-handed catch.
He knocked it up to himself.
Yeah, Trevor Harris was just a little bit behind on all his passes that game. Like he was just off. You saw his completion percentage. It was around that 65 range. So it wasn't the 70 plus that we're accustomed to, but there was a few that were a little bit behind. This one was Robustelli made one hell of a play, reaching back and tipping it forward to himself, setting them up. But that touchdown run by Mario Anderson, Brammer and Ferland pulled right off the bat. Yep. Awachi was blocking the defensive end, sealed that outside, and allowed both Brammer and Ferland to get out there in the hole and hit the linebackers and DBs. That was just so schematically brilliant of a play. And I'd put that up. We talked about, AJ Ouellette's touchdown run in Hamilton with the blocking on that one. I put this one right up there. That blocking was unreal. The offensive line had a very solid game.
And and now the more I'm with the Thunder and the more that I watch the offensive line guys, especially at practices, I watch for that stuff now. And especially with the running game the Thunder has. So I'm starting to appreciate more when you got guys that will pull and get upfield to block that next level. That is going to help your running game so much. But Anderson also broke a tackle on that one. Like there was a good chance he was going to get pulled down, and he broke it. But yeah, Mario Anderson, 3 touches and 2 touchdowns. What a touchdown vulture that guy is in fantasy.
Between me removing Tommy Neild from my fantasy lineup and Mario Anderson stealing 2 touchdowns, I had a bit of a rough week in fantasy this week. Still number 1 in the Piffles group, but that's, not a huge celebration. I love what Mario Anderson is doing. He gives them, and we've talked about this, he's that lightning, that extra little bit that really you don't expect out of AJ Ouellette. He's not the guy that's going to break those long touchdown runs on it with any regularity. Mario Anderson, it feels like he can break one at any time. And that can only be good news as we get into, again, these colder months where you have the hard-hitting AJ Ouellette, and all of a sudden you've got the speedster and Mario Anderson who can make guys miss. It's going to be a powerful pair going forwards. And I like that they're starting to use him more and more as the season goes along. I think we're seeing out of Mario Anderson what we probably would have seen out of Kadeem Carey had he not gotten hurt.
Yeah, I like to see Mario Anderson get more than 3 touches in the game. just balance that off a little bit more. Not saying it needs to be a 50-50 split, but I'd like to see just obviously what he did. You want to see more of that, right? And it's interesting to me, the goal line carries. That was the interesting thing to me. It was he'd come in, AJ Ouellette had a run, got him down to the 5, and then next play it was Mario Anderson running it in for his second touchdown. So they're taking the goal line away from AJ Ouellette. Now that might just be by design. That just might be happen to how the rotation worked in that drive, but just interesting to see, and I'd like to see more of it.
Hey, 3 carries is still 60% of Brady Oliveira, and he was MOP last year. So that tells you what the Riders think of Mario Anderson Jr. right now. Oh, God.
Well, speaking of Brady Oliveira, we talked about it last week. The key to this game would be to stop him, especially the check downs. And he had 10 total touches, 5
catches, 5 rushes. That's all.
Yeah. They didn't even try to get him involved in the game. The Riders took it away. And I like what the Riders defense did with the zone for the most part. I felt like there wasn't as big a hole in the middle of the field. I felt like Jackson Ford was a little bit closer. Bye, Steve. Was a little bit closer into the line of scrimmage than Nelson Lacombo typically is. And I think that made a bigger difference. It just made, Claros made a couple really nice throws over the middle in tight coverage, and you're going to get that against a very good quarterback, and that's fine. But it limited some of those plays that we've seen go for bigger gains. And I did like that. And I thought the depth that Jameer Thurman and AJ Allen had was excellent. They weren't dropping too far back to allow those checkdowns to Oliveira and let him get momentum going. Because once he did catch those, couple checkdowns, there was a guy there right away. He didn't get 5-6 yards of running space to, put the shoulder down and do the whole bully ball thing, right? So I thought that was just schemed very, very, very well from Corey Mace and the defense on that. And taking away Brady O, if you can do that, you're going to put yourself in a very good shot against the Bombers. And we saw what happened.
Well, my concern going into this was when they said Nick Dembski was going to be healthy and playing again, and despite him barely practicing all week, because he's also very good on those checkdowns. So they send Claricius and Wheatfall deep, and you have to watch either for Brady or Dembski. And the Riders, for the most part, kept those short ones to Dembski, because Dembski can take a 5-yarder and turn it into 15-20 really easily, depending on the zone. But you're right. The Riders tightened up that zone, and maybe, yes, that was playing Jackson Ford a little more shallower. But when you got a guy like Tavon Campbell with his closing speed, you can afford to bring your safety in a little tighter so you can have that guy who can close. Because was it that deep play to Claricius or Wheatfall on the sideline there?
Yes.
That Campbell went flying. Like Ford was getting there, but Campbell was the reason that got knocked out of bounds, because he caught it and he caught up to it in time. So
Tavon Campbell, his speed is so elite. He's probably he might be the fastest guy in the CFL, either side of the ball. But it's his closing speed. Like, he's so confident in that speed that he baits these quarterbacks into throws. And that's what we saw in the pick too, which was actually a really good communication between Campbell and Fields, where they switched. They didn't follow their man. They switched men there. So the receiver was wide open on that 2-point convert. If Claros throws that ball any earlier or puts any kind of zip on it, that's an easy 2 points for them.
That was his zip.
Yeah. Nowadays it is, yeah. But when you have a guy as confident as Tavon Campbell, you can bait these quarterbacks into it. We saw it with Jeremiah Mazzoli when he had that pick 6 against BC earlier in the year. Just baits these guys in and makes a big play. And people were questioning the Tavon Campbell signing before the season started. I don't think they're doing that any longer.
No.
Honestly, you look back, that was our biggest question mark, was will Tavon Campbell have enough to really start in this defensive backfield? Now I don't want to see him miss a game. He's been absolute money. And the biggest thing, like we've mentioned multiple times, his speed is unmatched. And he seems to come up big in big situations, which you can't teach. You put those three things together and add in the Canadian factor, and I'm really looking at that as potentially, along with Tommy Stevens, as the biggest signings of the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of the defensive backfield, I want to give out Marcus Sales a shout out as well. Didn't practice all week, game time decision, and he looked good. Like
I mean,
I
he
don't know
did
what.
get beat for a couple touchdowns, but
Yeah,
those also were solid plays. He was there
Yeah.
in coverage. Sometimes you just get beat, and that's what it was. So I know some people were kind of hard on him for or saying he had a down game because of giving up those touchdowns. But again, you don't practice all week. But he was right there in coverage. You win some, you lose some.
The other team gets paid to make plays too, and no issues with Sales game.
No.
it'd been a lot worse if he wasn't playing. Let's put it that way.
Yes, it would have been.
We've seen what happens then.
Let's get to that final 5 minutes. All started with
I don't know. My heart can relive it.
That was one of those. I mean, Riders make it 31-17. You're thinking this is good. We're coasting now. We can just kind of level off. Bombers punt to the Riders with 5 minutes left. Mario Alford makes a good return and promptly fumbles it as he goes to get more yards. Were you guys of the opinion just like, okay, you got your yards, just like get down and secure the ball, or did you want to see him, completely break it? Because he was trying to break it, right?
And he almost did. Honestly, his own guy got in his way when he went to make his cut, and so he had to cut back, and that's when he got surrounded by 3 Bombers, and the ball got knocked out. I don't know, man. If he would have took that all the way to the house, the top would have came off the stadium. Like they would have heard it in Winnipeg. So I don't blame him for it. Like you want bad decision making. Look what Brissett did in that game, in the Toronto game. Like
that was crazy.
At some point, like these guys are going to try to make the plays because they're playmakers. So you can't fault them for it. Yeah. So you can't fault them for it, but it's like at least like 2 hands on it. Like don't carry like a loaf of bread at that point.
As a fan, yes, I would have loved him to catch the ball, go 5 yards, go down with 5 minutes left, a 2-score lead, offense moving relatively decently. Sure, that's the safe call. But after a year of telling Mario Alford he needs to be better, then to turn around and be like, hey, dude, just hit the turf.
Everything I said before, forget about it. Yeah, forget about it.
Go straight for the sidelines. You can't do that. You pay him to make those plays. And he has been consistently reliable at holding on to the ball. Yes, it sucked. It happened at the worst possible time, and it could have cost us. But I'd still rather have him and have the mentality of I'm going to break every return every time I touch the ball. I have no issues with his decision making. Just again, like Greg said, maybe a better grip next time once you kind of get into the mosh pit there.
Bombers end up getting a touchdown right after that, making it a little bit uneasy. But then we get the Trevor Harris punt. So we've seen the replay a whole bunch of times now. First off, I thought they were just going to try and draw him offside. I was like, okay,
thought.
We all did.
3rd and 6.
That's what Winnipeg thought.
Maybe you get it to 3rd and 1 if they jump off. If Willie Jefferson jumps offside, and which he was offside. And maybe you get it to 3rd and 1 and you bring in Tommy Stevens. And then when they snapped it, I was like, what the hell are they doing? I couldn't believe they snapped the ball. But then I saw the 3 guys that were kind of running as onside players, and then the punt happened. I'm like, okay, that makes a little bit of sense. Catch them off guard. So should that have been a safety?
No.
Or did his momentum take him into the end zone?
I've watched this enough now. I think there are 3 possible outcomes: the safety, the rouge, and the ball at the 1. And the worst possible outcome was the rouge, and that was the incorrect one. You could see him get into the end zone. Even if his momentum takes him in, he comes out. He is outside of the goal line, and gets pushed back in. I don't think the safety is right. That should have been ball at the 1 at worst, or a safety at best. And somehow they managed to take the worst possible option. And I've seen a lot of people on social media say that the command center likes to make calls that keep the game on the line. And I kind of laugh at it, but they do. It's not an inconsistent thing.
Well, first off, it's not a command center anymore. They took
It's a
that away.
replay
It's
center.
a
It'll
replay
always be
center.
the command center to me.
No, they can't just jump in. They can replay. They don't jump in and make their own decisions anymore. They did. They used to do that, and it was egregious. It was ridiculous. The stupidest thing this league, well, maybe not has ever done, but in recent memory.
Close.
But yeah, I'm with you, Steve. I thought it was live. I thought it was a safety. Watching it again, it should have been down at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, and I'm with you guys on that one. I watched that. I watched the replays I watched the most were that AJ Ouellette looking through his ear hole and not getting called, and that on the Bombers touchdown where I'm sure it was Dembski, was obviously 4 yards offside.
I rewatched that a few times. He hit the line perfectly. That was, I mean, Ray Elgard would have been proud of that.
It was definitely an Elgard line hit.
Because they do give you that 1 yard grace in the neutral zone. And he was in that neutral zone. And when it happens that fast, they're going to let it fly every single time. So it was in the CFL, that was perfectly timed. In the NFL, they probably would have called that. But CFL, you get a little bit of grace there, and they used it.
And all we heard in social media after the game was how somebody was offside. I think it was Tommy Neal was offside on his 69-yard touchdown run. No comments on the Dembski play, but Neal was and Neal was far closer to the line, but that might be biased talking.
Then of course the pass interference against Jackson Ford, which, I mean, it might have been.
I called at the snap of the ball because I'm like, this is going to be deep to Dembski, and if he can't catch it, he's going to slow down and then get the safety every time. He's good at it. Happened. Yeah, and that's exactly what he did.
I mean, that was a great veteran move by Dembski to slow down when you know the ball's not there and draw that penalty. So, I mean, good move there, but also at the same time, if you're Jackson Ford in that situation, you don't want to give up the touchdown. And I think anytime you're beat, if you're a DB, pull the guy down.
Yep.
Save the touchdown now, take your chances later, kind of thing. Obviously, they scored, a couple plays later because the zone defense on the goal line is
that was weird. Why would you?
Every team
5 yards off the goal line.
Every team does that. I noticed that in some other games over the last couple of weeks. I'm like, these touchdowns are so easy. Like Kenny Lawler, his touchdown to take the lead for Hamilton in the Labor Day Classic against Toronto was so easy. Like, where are these defenders? But it's because they're running a zone, and every team knows you're running a zone. So just stop at the goal line in between those two linebackers. Like it's so easy to run if you're an offense. But it also set up that Tavon Campbell pick too. So it felt like here we go again, and it essentially ended it. It was nice that the Riders ended up getting the ball back on the onside kick because Roland Milligan fumbled that, and it sure looked like the Bombers recovered it. I think it might have been Castillo.
Castillo was in there, but I think it was Thurman that also got in there and just tore the ball away.
Yeah. So whoever gets it at the bottom of the pile, it's not who lands on it first. It's who ends up with it when the refs find it.
Yeah.
So luckily Riders, held on, got that, and another Labor Day Classic in the books. It was a classic, at least the ending of it for sure.
I'm not going to lie. I was actually kind of hoping the Bombers were going to tie that game because as a gambling degenerate, I wanted the cover in the overtime.
My heart did not want overtime. Greg, you're banned for a week. You're not allowed on our bus anymore.
Oh, damn it.
So again, 9-2, setting the team up for the Banjo Bowl coming up. have to mention, and this was a roster move that, of course, happened after we recorded our show last week. Joe back with the team, and he had that 2-point convert for the Riders where he absolutely dusted
Wide open.
Diedrich Nichols. Not bad for our 7th Canadian receiver, right, Roar Report? I have to go back to the post game and watch and see what I actually said to him. I got a couple DMs after that, actually, in support. So for some reason,
wrong.
For some reason, a BC Lions fan absolutely hates a Joe. Like he's never had a role player on his team that he liked before. So
out of all the players in the league to hate, how do you hate a Joe?
This is the most marketable guy in the league.
Right? Like straight up fun-loving, energetic dude who just loves to play football. No, we can't have that. He's a bum. Raw report, you can bite me.
Yards.
That's terrible numbers.
But you see some of those blocks?
Oh, that's what we've been missing from him.
Allowed AJ Led a couple times to hit the outside and cut back in to turn a 0 or 1 yard gain into a 5-6 yard gain. So very important player for this team as he gets up to speed as a receiver, but his blocking can't be understated. So just a guy that the energy, but just puts on the hard hat and does whatever's asked of him. And those are the guys I've always loved. So got to have those guys on your team, and glad he's with us.
And I don't hate, and he's the one player that I don't hate that wears number 80. Because it's always hard for me every year. It's like, 80, why 80?
Yeah. Was that Ruby Jr. in or was he 81
in training camp? Training camp was Ruby Jr. in training camp.
Yeah. Well, glad that didn't work out.
Yeah, no kidding.
Also, the Riders signed another linebacker over the last week, Chris Russell Jr. There's the Rider news. That's the opening kickoff presented by Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level. Time for Remember That Guy. Sponsored by District 306, Regina's Tactical Laser Tag Experience. Greg, you're going to pick a former Rider of the past, which I guess makes them a former Rider.
Yes.
Going to give us a couple hints, and we're going to try and guess who it is based off your hints. So, out of how many Rob Vanstones out of 5, how difficult is this one going to be?
3 or 4.
Okay.
I think.
Oof.
Okay. Well, let's remember that guy.
Was that more or less Vanstones than Johnny Quinn?
That was
about
5,
the thing.
man.
Yeah. I said it was about a 4, and you guys told me it was a 5 after.
That was a 5.
Okay.
Who remembers Johnny Quinn? Like, come on.
Hey, I got to bring him up in this week's power rankings.
I saw that.
I had to use that quote.
Yeah, I wrote it specifically. Like, if he doesn't use this, I don't know what else I need to write. This Cornhusker was chosen as the Buffalo News Player of the Year in high school. Has made stops in Winnipeg, Montreal, Hamilton, and Calgary. He's a Grey Cup champion and won Most Outstanding Canadian in that Grey Cup game. 3-time CFL All-Star and 5-time CFL West All-Star. 4-time winner of the Dave Dryberg Memorial for being the top scorer in the West Division. Won us a Banjo Bowl.
I knew you were going to tie it in with the Banjo Bowl.
Is it Sandro DeAngelis?
It is Sandro DeAngelis.
Yes.
Yes.
He's on my list here somewhere, too. You talked about him a couple weeks ago as well.
He's the reason why this one exists. This entire exists because I'm like, hey, remember who was a writer? Sandro DeAngelis. That was wild, right?
that was, what was it? That was 2012.
2012.
Yeah, I was just thinking back to all the Banjo Bowls we've won.
He was a rider from August 2012 to January 2013.
What a time in rider history. Sandro DeAngelis. Man, we hated that guy with his career as a Calgary Stampeder.
Yep. I did not know he was in Montreal.
Yep.
He was the Grey Cup MVP or Canadian?
Yeah. 2008 Grey Cup Most Outstanding Canadian.
Oh, that game sucked. That was my first game or first and only game at the Big O, that Grey Cup in Montreal in 08. One hell of a party. I sure hope Montreal gets the Grey Cup coming soon in 2027 or something. But yeah, that game sucked. Sandro DeAngelis.
We hardly knew you.
Sorry,
Oh, I
Alouettes
did.
was 2011. Sorry, 2005, 2009 a Stamp, then 2010 Tiger Cat, 2011 Alouette, 12 Rough Rider, 2013 Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
The surprising part
just-
to me of that is that he only played 5 years in Calgary. I swear he was there for 30.
It felt like longer.
That's how much I hated him.
That entire run of Stamps, just I think it was like the most hated teams. Like,
oh my God, there's to this day, like, I mean, the Bombers right now, I think it's out of respect for the Bombers why I dislike them so much right now. But that Stamps team, the players on their team were so easy to dislike.
Yep.
And I think that added to it. And the fact we played them in the playoffs every year, but we beat them in the playoffs damn near every year as well, too. And the games we had against them were classics. You had Chris Getzlaff having career games against them every single time. Andy Fantuz and Weston Dressler against Brandon Browner and Dwight Anderson. Like those were some battles. Of course, you have Henry Burris.
Well, you look at I'm looking at the 2008 Stamps roster. You got Burris, you got Cornish, you got Reynolds, Kenyon Rambo, Nick Lewis, Charleston Hughes.
Oh, their receivers were stacked.
Keon Raymond, Dwight Anderson. Like,
was that the bobsled year?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ish around then. Yep.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at it, with how
loaded
loaded that team was, they should have won more than one Grey Cup.
Glad they didn't.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, so receivers: Thelwell, Ralph, Rambo, Copeland, Lewis, Teo Johnson, Jabari Arthur. Like, okay. Like, defense: Milt Collins, Keon Raymond, Brandon Browner, Brandon Smith, Wes Lysak, Dwight Anderson, Marcus Howell. Like, come on.
Howell was a receiver for Winnipeg at a point, wasn't
he? Yeah, they have him listed both a cornerback and a wide receiver here.
Yeah. Anyway,
Dave Dickinson was injured that year.
That's a shock to me. Sandro DeAngelis winning the Riders a Banjo Bowl with a game-winning field goal in 2012.
25-24 was the final score, I believe, in that game.
Is that what it was? I watched that game at home. I didn't go to that one. I don't remember anything else from that game. I honestly really don't.
25-24 final. Drew Willie came up in a relief injured for injured Darian Durant. 17 of 23 for 188 yards with just one touchdown.
Oh.
Terrell Mays forced a fumble.
Man, T. Mays is great. I miss that guy.
Oh yeah, this is Winnipeg when they had Joey Elliott. Yeah. Oh yeah. How did we not win that game by 40? Joey Elliott is your quarterback. Come on.
Well, didn't they almost lose to Alex Brink? Was it Brink?
Yeah. I remember Brink. Yeah, he was not good.
Who was Goltz? Wasn't he the guy that did the
tie? Goltz. Yeah, Goltz is the old suit and tie. Yeah.
Yeah. They almost lost.
Actually, it popped up in my Labor Day memories from Facebook because that game against him, they were showing him doing this. I'm like, pretty sure it means he's choking.
Well, there we go. Sandro DeAngelis on Remember That Guy, sponsored by District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience. Speaking of Banjo Bowls, let's get to our Churchill Brewing Company odds and end zones. What's your favorite Banjo Bowl of all time, boys?
The one where,
yeah. Our
2009?
first bus.
Yeah.
No. I liked our first bus.
That was a good one.
We won
2018.
And we got to watch Buck Pierce get booed. Not Buck Pierce. Matt Nichols.
Matt Nichols
booed off the field.
Yeah.
And then booed during the cancer PSA that people said he wasn't
bullying. Sorry, I thought it was cancer. It's bullying.
bullying, whatever.
Because I got
Still.
that wrong, and I had to hear about it forever.
Still,
You're booing a PSA because you don't like the guy.
yeah. Sam McGuavin he had the pick six. Was it pick six or fumble recovery?
Fumble
For a
recovery.
touchdown.
Willie had the pick
Willie-
six where he
Willie
took
had
forever to
one.
find the end zone.
He's still looking for the end zone.
That was a
My
good
favorite
one.
thing about that one with the bus is because we're at the tailgate and Bomber fans were booing. I'm like, is Matt Nichols here? Then they stopped booing once they realized, oh yeah, we're jerks.
So Greg, you also had the blowout 2009. What was that? 55-10 or something like that.
Yeah, Michael Bishop actually being useful for once.
No, that wasn't Michael Bishop.
Wasn't that Bishop?
Bishop was 08.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Because that's my favorite Banjo Bowl is
Yeah.
2008 when the
2009,
Riders were
the
down
blowout
by 3 scores in the fourth quarter, and he just chucked up long balls to Weston Dressler, Jerron Walker, and Vince Marshall. All had like 40+ yard touchdown catches in that game. Like that was we did the Riderville bus trip in that one. I remember that, and that was Old Canada Inn Stadium. We were up in the upper deck, and just up until those last 7-8 minutes, just getting beaked to I don't even know, getting beaked pretty hard. The Bomber fans cleared out pretty hard after that one, and that was definitely something. So I think that's my favorite Banjo Bowl. Did the first one I went to was 05, because I think they started in 04.
04. 4 was the first one.
Yep.
Yeah. 05, Karsten Bailey had the game-winning touchdown for the Riders. Riders had some pretty good luck early on in that. So we need to get back to that because it hasn't been very kind to us since 2019.
We are 2-9 in the last 11 Banjo Bowls. I think it's time we up that winning percentage just a touch.
Absolutely. Other Labor Day games this past week. Toronto Hamilton. That finish was awesome.
That was nuts. And like I said, Brissett almost screwed it up. Like, if they would have held him in bounds, like, and not scored, he would have lost that game for them. I have no idea what he was thinking, other than get the touchdown. But what a wild finish!
Sorry to interrupt. My dogs are losing their minds right now. Give me like 30 seconds. You guys keep talking. I'll be right back.
So, anyways, if you guys didn't see it, Toronto goes and scores with about 2 minutes left, I want to say. Hamilton then marches the field and takes a 2-point lead, 1 point lead, sorry, and goes for 2 points to try to extend it to a field goal. Bo Levi Mitchell gets sacked. So with like 40 seconds on the clock, Arbuckle gets the ball back, bombs one out deep to Brissett, and instead of going down well in field goal range, decides he's going to try to get the touchdown. And steps out at the 4 with exactly 1 second left on the clock.
I thought he was going to score.
I can tell you, I didn't watch a single minute of that game. I can't remember even what I was doing on Monday. I was out and about, and I was just getting constant updates from you guys, from Furlan, from everybody, basically saying that game was off the hook or whatever the kids are saying these days. Just absolute. We thought our finish was exciting, and they decided to go and one up it with whatever that drunk mess of a fourth quarter was, or again, last 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Brissett, great player, but that was not his best choice. He lucked out that he stepped out when he did, because that could have been a whole lot uglier and funnier.
Which is funny because we talked about Mario Anderson, right? These guys are playmakers. You want to make the play, and it was there for him. It's hard in that moment when you're running to realize the time on the clock as well in the whole situation. He should have, but I can understand and empathize with him a little bit. And he did, admit to that post game. He goes, I was trying to make a play, but I got to be smarter with that and, get out of bounds or drop down. So that was like, I got home from work after the Ticats just scored that game winner or the go ahead touchdown.
Yeah.
So I saw the kick, and then that play, and then the field goal. So I only saw 3 plays in that game, and that was everything I needed to see. That was awesome.
And then you got the third head of the dragon head meme where you got the 2 scary ones and the goofy looking one, and the goofy looking one was the Battle of Alberta.
Oh, that game was
That was
awful.
a bad game.
And it's not like to me that Calgary played that well. I don't
No,
like.
both teams sucked.
It was just Edmonton was awful. It was their offensive line, which is their undoing. And Calgary's, again, credit to Calgary's D line. Their front 4 is unbelievable. They
They're
control.
unbelievable, but that offensive line is offensive, like literally turnstiles. Cody had no time for anything.
It's funny you say that. As I'm sitting here recording, I was scrolling Twitter a little bit, and I saw your picture posted that you posted on yesterday with the Elks helmets on the turnstiles as the Elks offensive line. They are bad. There's something to be said about having Trey Ford as the mobility guy back there. Obviously, you're not switching back with the way Cody's played over the last few weeks. But when your O-line's that bad, having a guy that can't move in the pocket is less than ideal.
Edmonton has allowed 33 sacks this year. Like, they're not
is
good.
that worse in the league?
That is worse than the league. Toronto's next worst with 32. And then Winnipeg with 24. We're middle of the pack with 16. Calgary's the least amount with 11.
Which isn't surprising given how they've dominated in the trenches just about everywhere they've played. So,
and how hard it is to bring down VA. VA is one of the best quarterbacks on the move. He gets out of pressure in a hurry.
Well, we still get Edmonton once more, so hopefully we can take advantage of their porous O-line to come. Regina Thunder. Let's take a look at the CJFL really quick. Last week, obviously, was the bye week for everybody, off week for the CJFL. This week, the big one at Mosaic Stadium.
Hilltops coming down from Saskatoon. Thunder have a game in hand, obviously, because Hilltops dropped that game against the Rifles. So yeah. Hilltops need this one. Like they can't afford to drop 2 to the Thunder. So this one's going to be a tough fight. So if the Riders, if the Thunder hold this one, first place looks, I don't say it's locked up, but it's fairly close because Thunder got 2 games against the Rifles yet this year, and the Rifles have shown to be a problem for some other teams. So yeah, huge game. Usually the teams, it comes down to the Hilltops and Thunder. So it should be a good clash of Mosaic.
And this is on, it's on Saturday, right?
Saturday, 7 p.m. So
it's after the Banjo Bowl. So if you're in Regina, go check out that game after. It should be a pretty nice weekend, and you'll get the game under the lights too.
Game under the lights.
Yeah.
And we got 2 tickets to give away. So watch your socials.
We'll give those. We'll put those up tomorrow on Wednesday. Want to go to that game? We'll get you there.
Oh, also, it is not quite Tackle Hunger, but the Thunder have teamed up with Pure Country. Non-perishable food items. There'll be hampers at the gate, so bring those along as well.
Awesome. All right, Thunder Hilltops on Saturday. But the main event on Saturday, which is also the middle game on Saturday of the triple header, and we'll start there. So this is the enemy preview presented by Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas, Riders Bombers, Saturday at 1:00. I understand why they do the triple header on Saturday, just with, the 2 games on Monday, give teams that extra day kind of thing. So it's not such a short week. But can they please, and CFL schedule maker, I implore you, please make this one the 3rd game in the triple header. You can put whoever you want in the first game. You're going to have the Calgary Edmonton rematch in the that day anyway. Do that in the 2nd game and put the Riders Winnipeg as the 3rd game. Reason why night games are better than afternoon games, but also it's the travel. Calgary to Edmonton,
2 hours.
2 hours, 2.5 tops, right? Like you can do that. That could be the 1 o'clock game. You're still leaving in the morning. You can still tailgate and you get home that night. Perfect 1-day trip. You could do the Banjo Bowl in 1 day, which we've kind of done. But we wouldn't have to leave at 3 in the friggin' morning on a Saturday because we lose an hour going to Winnipeg. So that drive is significantly bigger than, the 2-hour Calgary to Edmonton drive. So to get more people to go, make that the triple or the third game. Then they don't have to leave so early or take a day off work on the Friday or whatever the case is.
Well, actually, what I would argue is it should be 4 games Labor Day weekend.
Montreal, Ottawa.
Rewind mini rant here. No football Friday night was weird. I'm sitting at home and I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, there's no game on right now.
I have no friends. I don't go anywhere on a Friday night.
Exactly. Like, and my friends, we text about the football game. This sucks. Yeah. Come on, guys. But the fact that there was no game Friday, no game Saturday. You had to wait all the way till Sunday for 1 game and then do 2 on the Monday. It just weird schedule. Then you do 4 the following week and do a triple header. Do 4 on Labor Day weekend. Do 3 the following week, and you can do a Friday night game and your typical 2 on a Saturday. Like, it's not rocket science. It's easy math.
And why Montreal Ottawa is not a Labor Day matchup is beyond me. That is easy a rivalry, right? Like, it's a perfect. They're side by side. It's simple, easy. Yes, poor BC gets left out in the dust every year, but you know what? They had their run with Montreal for a long time. Make that game an easy rivalry. And I agree with you. Have the Friday doubleheader Saturday on Banjo Bowl weekend and make it 2 night games. 2 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or 5 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Whatever it is, it's a whole lot better than this mismatch. Nobody wants to get up at 11 o'clock for football on Saturday morning after Labor Day week. Just not on my list of things to do. But we had to do 3 a.m. departures for our bus because that's the only way to get there in time to tailgate for an hour. And yes, we make the best of it and it's an absolute blast. But I'd much rather it be sunny the entire way out there so that the party can start when we leave Regina, not when people start waking up around Brandon.
Yeah. The secret is you just don't go to bed at night, Steve.
That's just my problem. That's what I did. I literally drove Uber the night before, got on the bus, and didn't sleep for 36 hours. That is a terrible idea.
You see, your problem is you were driving Uber. If you just came from the bar and hopped on the bus, you would have been fine.
We got a few of those that definitely do that.
I know.
Make that the third game if you're going to have a triple header. But even better, to Greg's point, I agree 100%. Have that as your 3-game week. Have your 3 teams on the bye there and just do 1 Friday, 2 Saturday. Done. Easy. I don't know if we asked this last year. Maybe we did. But we see national media. They don't call it the Banjo Bowl anymore. They call it the Labor Day Rematch. So outside of Winnipeg, who calls the Labor Day Classic game the Banjo Bowl pregame or warm-up game, whatever they want to call it, because Doug Brown, I think, said that. But the name the Banjo Bowl, the league has shifted away from it. The Riders do not call it the Banjo Bowl. They call it the Labor Day Rematch. They will not go near that name. Is it time to move on from the name? The league's kind of pushed it away. The TSN has TSN still kind of amps it up a little bit.
TSN used it last year. I just decided to Google. They definitely used it last year talking about the game. But yeah, they're definitely moving more towards the Labor Day Rematch. I guarantee we're still going to hear banjo music the entire broadcast.
Has it run its course though?
I still think it's fun. You know what? The CFL needs to do things like this. Have some marketing fun. The fans have made it their own over the last, 21 years. Yes, it started from one stupid comment from Troy Westwood, but it's turned into something, right? Like it's been an entertaining storyline for so long. It would feel weird to call it anything else. We've gotten yelled at for calling our bus the Banjo Bowl bus for multiple years now. And I wouldn't, even if the league and the Bombers changed it, I don't think I'd want to change the name of our bus. It just fits. It just feels right for that game now.
And they already got a trophy made. And the good news is, if Zach Collaros is playing for a trophy, chances are he's not going to play well. So I think that works in our favor. Like, come on, the Stampeders invented a trophy for this season.
And I wanted to bring that up. The Banjo Bowl should be what the Stampede Bowl becomes.
Yeah.
That's the must game, the must-see game, the must-go-to game in Winnipeg. You got to get your tickets right away because that one sells out before every other game. That's what the Stampede Bowl should be in Calgary. I mean, I could do without the stupid trophy presentations, but like I said, after the Stampede Bowl, if that gets people in the doors and gets people more invested into it, I'm all for it. It just grows the game. It's a little bit, we talk about marketing all the time. This is a marketing thing and it's worked. They took a silly comment, made a trophy, and now it's, one of the most watched games of the year. People circle it on their calendars. We go to it every single year. Like it's, the Banjo Bowl name itself, I could do without. I'm like, it brings on some of the stupid comments you'll get from fans. And I mean, banjo music is awful at the game, so I could do without hearing that. But I think it's just become such a huge success that you got to keep it.
Well, if you think about it, especially in NCAA football, all those rivalry games have a stupid trophy for a mid-season game.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal. Like you want to play for, you want to win the Egg Bowl, you want to win
the Iron Bowl,
like all that stuff. Like, and they have stupid trophies. Like, look behind me. I've got a Colonel Sanders trophy behind me. Trophies are fun. Have fun with it.
How many weeks in a row are you going to bring up that stupid golf trophy?
How many weeks are there in a year?
Yeah. Somebody better take that from you next year.
At some point, I'm not going to pull a Fraser. I'm actually going to give this to my other teammates, and they can hold it for a bit. I'm not going to hold it for the entire year like he did.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'll believe it when I see it, Greg.
Why do you think I'm getting a replica made?
It's a gift to them.
Yeah.
You keep the real thing. Yeah.
It's like the Stanley Cup that stays in the vault. That one's going to stay in your vault, and the other one will be a traveling trophy.
Banjo Bowl on Saturday. How can the Riders win this game? It doesn't seem to matter what happens on Labor Day. The Riders are cursed in this game, especially lately. The Riders had a pretty decent record over the first, 15, 16 Banjo Bowls. But since the post-Darian Durant era, they've largely been awful in this game. So how do the Riders win this one?
We've said it every year, probably get it leading up to this game. Take the crowd out of it as early as you can. And the Riders have been terrible at that over the last several years. It seems like the Bombers go up 14-0 before the Riders even show up. I think the biggest thing is to make those plays early, get to Zach Collaros early. If you get the chance to take the ball and ram it down their throats and score. Because if you can get the crowd out of it, that's where Winnipeg thrives, is in that stadium with that crowd noise. They are hard to beat. So it's simple. Take the crowd out of it, and you're likely winning 9 times out of 10.
With that acoustics, do not give the crowd the credit they do not deserve.
Crowd assisted fan noise.
Yeah,
yes.
Stadium assisted crowd noise.
That's the word.
But the fact remains is you're right on that point. You got to take that crowd out, and by doing that, you can't have that slow start. And unfortunately, that's the Riders' Achilles heel right now. That offense, like I said, diesel engine takes a while to get up to speed, but once it's a runaway train, you don't know what to do with it. So, but on the defensive side, they got to do what they did this past week. You got to keep Dembski in check. You got to keep Olivier in check. Force Zach into throwing from bad spots. Just do what you did this game, except score sooner, basically, is my advice.
Catch the ball when it's thrown your way. So on the Labor Day game, Myers had a drop. Keyshawn Johnson had a drop as well, too. That would have moved the chains. Last year's Banjo Bowl, Frankie Hickson Wheel routes.
Oh,
Absolutely
yeah.
got past the linebacker. Great.
that was to the house.
And he would have scored on that play. He would have had like a 75-yard touchdown, however long it would have been, 50 yards. I don't remember, but he was open. He had the ball and he was in stride. He would have scored. So opportunities like that don't happen a lot in this game traditionally. Riders have to make them count. And yes, early. Score first. And not just a single. We've seen this team score, a single or a field goal first in this game, and then that's it. They got to score first, get a touchdown first. 7-0. That's what it needs to be. That's where this team's going to, force Winnipeg into trying stuff.
Mario Alford to the house, first play of the game. Make it happen.
Corey Holmes style.
Yes.
I'm in. I would love that. That'd be great.
Oh, you'd be able to hear a pin drop in that stadium if that happened, other than the 1,000 or so Rider fans that'll be there. That would be delightful.
A thousand
they could
fans,
have-
would you say that's 50-50?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
What they need to do is tell the Riders that the game starts 30 minutes before it actually does, because they come out cold in the first quarter, and that second and third quarter is where they are money. And they need that. If they're going to have 2 good quarters, it needs to be the first and second. Come out to a huge lead. Obviously, I'd prefer 4 good quarters. That would be, preferential and probably beneficial for us winning a football game. But we've shown that we can hang with these guys, and we can show that we can dominate them. Winnipeg needed every single bounce to go their way to lose by 4. So let's see what happens if we get some of those bounces coming back our way.
Win this game, win the season series. And that basically all but locks up a home playoff game, pretty much guaranteed. So this is a huge game. This is a team that they've really bought into that 1-0 this week mantra. I know every team preaches it, but this team has really bought into it. So this is going to be different than the Labor Day game. The Bombers are going to do stuff we haven't seen before. Obviously, I'm going to say stop Brady Oliveira. He's going to get more than 10 touches this game. I guarantee that. So
He'll get that in the first half.
Probably. Just on runs plus the checkdowns. So stop that. And again, Nick Dembski. That's the guy to worry about on their offense. I know they're getting Ontario Wilson back from his NFL chance. If he plays, how much he plays, I'm not too terribly worried about it.
Why are you worried about a 7th-string middle receiver to come back from the NFL?
Dalton Schoen didn't really do a heck of a lot last week. I'm not worried about that.
There's a lot of people that are looking back to that 2-point pick 2 from Tavon Campbell, and you watch Dalton Schoen, and he was limping after that play. So I wonder how healthy he is going into the Banjo Bowl as well, and if they maybe brought him back a little early, because he's had his injury troubles, and if he was hurt again, that's not a good spot for Winnipeg.
And we'll keep an eye out on the injury report as we record this on Tuesday. No practice for either team yet. So once we see stuff happening on Wednesday, it'll be interesting to see. I wouldn't be surprised if Sales sits out day 1. So I wouldn't overreact if Sales has a vet day on Wednesday. One name to watch though for the Riders is Jaden Dahlke on the injured list. Didn't realize until after the game that he ended up in the hospital during the game. Got released, came back.
And it's funny because I'm watching, because I pointed that out to you guys, because I wait for those game ball videos.
Game balls, yeah.
And so they're doing the special teams chain because they don't have a ball for special teams. And they gave it to Dahlke. He's like, this guy went to the hospital, came back, sprinted out. I'm like, Dahlke went to the hospital and came back and played?
Yeah.
So watch for Dahlke. But also, like, to go back to your point about these guys buying in 1-0, like, those videos are good for that. And Harris even said at the end of that video when they brought him in to break the team down, it's like, we win this season like, we win the game, that's the season series. So these guys know what's at stake here. So hopefully they show up and play like it is.
All I'm picturing with Jaden Dahlke is him running through the parking lot, absolutely bowling over anybody that got in his way on the way to the Pasco Hospital and back. Like, how do you leave, go to the hospital, get checked out, and make it back in time to finish the game? That's incredible. And, I can't say anything bad about Jaden Dalkey at all. That's tenacity at its finest.
That's some BD right there. That's some big Dalkey energy that we saw
Yeah.
for the Labor Day Classic. But yeah, it's simple. Start fast and get to Caleros and stop Brady Oliveira. That seems to be the recipe to beat this team. So hopefully we do see that. With that in mind, let's do our picks for this week. It's time for Piffles picks.
Do we have to?
We do.
Mr. 0-3.
Piffles picks.
Well, folks, when you're right 52% of the time, you're wrong 48% of the time.
Or in Greg's case, you're wrong 100% of the time last week.
Okay, I had the Riders winning. They didn't cover because they let Winnipeg crawl back into it and then got a pick 2 to only go up by 4 points.
Yeah, that was perfect. I got that game right. And I got the Argos. I even said that they win straight up.
Yep. And then, Hamilton just blew it. And then, Cody, you let me down, bud.
Yeah, that game doesn't count.
Isn't that the only game I got right? That game was perfect.
Yeah, only game I got wrong. Week 14 starts off with BC at Ottawa, both teams coming off a bye week.
Oh.
So before we recorded, sorry, I opened up the odds and I went, something's not right here. Let me refresh.
This is one of them?
No, all of them.
Okay.
For some reason, and now all the lines got removed. BC and Ottawa didn't have a line. Montreal Hamilton didn't have a line. Saskatchewan Winnipeg did, and Calgary Edmonton did, but now they are all gone.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Hit refresh one more time.
I'm going to have to. I'm going to close the window and reopen. But yes, anyways, BC Ottawa didn't have a line. Absolutely did not have a line.
So are we doing pick'ems this week then?
We're definitely doing pick 'em on that one.
So
here we go. I got the lines back, but still nothing for Hamilton and Montreal and nothing for BC and Ottawa.
Okay, so the first two games we'll just do pick'ems, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, BC and Ottawa. I don't care if Drew Brown's back or not.
I don't understand why this one wouldn't have odds. It's still Ottawa. It's still Ottawa. Like I'm still surprised Bob Dice came out of a bye week with a job.
They didn't lose.
Yes.
He is undefeated in bye weeks.
Yes.
Okay, well, I mean, since we're going pick 'em basically straight up, yeah, I got BC.
Come on, coin.
Is it in Ottawa?
It's in Ottawa.
Crap. It's Ottawa.
All right. Second game, Hamilton at Montreal. This one does have odds?
No, this one doesn't.
This one doesn't. Oh, yeah, right. This is an interesting one because Hamilton's been trash the last few weeks.
But Montreal's also been trash.
Montreal's
who's playing quarterback this week for Montreal?
It's James Morgan again.
It's Jimmy Morgan? Okay.
But they are getting Austin Mack, Tyson Philpott, and there's a few other guys I saw on their practice report that are coming back. Mustafa Johnson on the D-line as well, too. So they're getting guys back for this one. Not their quarterback, but some good, important pieces.
Of course, all this is coming back just as they come to play us next week.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Montreal in this one.
Montreal.
I need to go. I need to gain a game. I'm taking Hamilton, I guess, if you guys are both in Montreal. And this is just to pick them.
All right.
Hamilton's not a bad team. They're just a bad team right now.
Defense is awful.
I just. Oh, well.
Riders at Bombers.
So
Steve, do you want to?
This one has a line, but you guys will never get it.
Okay. Steve, do you want to take a guess first?
Well, I'm going to go Winnipeg based on that comment by 1.5.
I think it'll be Winnipeg for some stupid reason, and I'll say Winnipeg 6.5.
It is legitimately the first time I've ever seen an even pick'em.
Really?
It's listed as an even pick'em. Never seen that before.
Well,
I'm taking Riders. History
Yeah.
has nothing, but I can't take Winnipeg. I cannot.
Coin says the Bombers.
luckily the coin's been absolute garbage lately, so good job, coin, I guess.
Straight up pick 'em. I don't
But
feel
then again,
confident.
so has Greg. So, you know,
Still beating the coin and you.
this game is the BC Ottawa of the pick'em world.
I don't feel confident in saying this, but I feel this is the year we break the curse. I'm feeling good about this one. I'll take the Riders.
I hope I lose a game on both of you.
I hope so too.
Yeah, I hope you lose. Actually, considering I picked against you in all these, I hope you lose all of them.
Last game, Battle of Alberta in Edmonton this time. Stamps at Elks. This one does have a line,
It
Greg.
does have a line. It does have
All
a
right,
line.
I'll say Calgary minus 5.5.
What was the
Oh yeah,
That's good because I was going to go whatever the score in the last game was. Calgary 21.
Yeah.
Well,
There would have been a ton of money coming in on Edmonton on that one.
oh, I just dropped the coin.
I don't see how Edmonton can.
Steve has Calgary in that one.
I got Calgary. What are you going to do, Greg? What are you going to do?
You're going
I'm
Calgary
going
again?
Calgary. I got to go with Calgary
Coward.
on that one because damn right I'm a coward. Because Edmonton they did nothing that game that go. You know what? Either they're going to hang in next week. No, they did nothing right. That offensive line is offensive. It's terrible.
Yeah, that O-line can't handle them. Jake Serezna missed the second half of that game too, so their D-line's down a little bit, whether he plays or not this week. Yeah. I'll take Edmonton. I'll take them to cover. I don't think they win. I think they keep it close. Cody owes us.
Yeah, how'd that work last week?
Shut up, Steve. He owes us for that too, so...
Yeah. Man, what a difference the standings would look if we win and Calgary loses. Just that little bit of breathing room would be so nice.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Lord knows we're Rider fans, though.
But nothing worked. Nothing worked for them. Like even Rankin had 13 carries, but only had 48 yards.
Yeah,
like they could
They were
not get anything
home.
Oh, I hope so.
Well, hopefully for the Riders' fortune, that changes this week. But we'll leave it there. Banjo Bowl coming up on Saturday. Can't wait. I love it. Red Barn time. Let's go. I got my Tupperware set aside already.
Attaboy.
Everything's ready to go. So if you're joining us on the bus, can't wait to see you on Saturday. If you're going to be in Winnipeg and you see us, come say hi. If not, enjoy the game on TV and go Riders go. Piffles Podcast brought to you by our great friends at Dairy Queen on Elphinstone Street and Sass Drive in Regina. Special thanks, of course, to Kathy Festian of Royal LePage Next Level, Churchill Brewing Company, District 306, Regina's tactical laser tag experience, Bigfoot Vodka, and Creasy's Premium Home Leisure Jacuzzi Spas for their support, making this show possible. Thanks for listening wherever you get your pods. Thanks for watching on YouTube or SAS Telemax TV on demand. We appreciate it. This is Ghost Behind Your Mind by Tyler Gilbert.
Thank you for being such a big supporter and fan of the CFL and myself personally.